Kia ora, hello and Guten Tag. Welcome to Berlin Wall Stories, an exhibition that was commissioned by the German Embassy in Wellington in Aotearoa, New Zealand. It explores the perspectives of 10 unique people and their relationship with the Berlin Wall, a concrete wall that once divided East and West Berlin, and the border strip that ran between the Federal Republic of Germany and the German Democratic Republic. You're about to hear a recorded interview with one of our participants who shared their personal Mauergeschichte, their Berlin Wall story. Enjoy and viel Spaß beim Zuhören.
I am from Europe. I prefer to say from Europe because I have a cosmopolitan background. I born in Paris, from Hungarian immigrant, and I live 22 years in Germany, in Berlin. So I finished the art school in Paris. I have learned art between Paris and Budapest. I have a master, a student of Klimt in Budapest, Rudolf Lang, and in 1988, I go definitively to live in my head in this time in Berlin. Before I lived I studied in Paris, but I lived between Halle and Berlin and Paris. So I was moving all the time between the two places. So when I think I go to live definitively in Berlin, I try to find a gallery because I learn art. I did have a little job between I exhibit in Brussels, and I have a very old friend from Paris who say, have you heard about the project of East Side Gallery? I don't know. So I go there in East Side Gallery and I meet Christine McLean. She was the organizer of the East Side Gallery.
When was that? Which year?
That was just after the opening of the Berlin Wall. I was one of the artists, as a lot of other artists. She heard that I just finished my study in Paris, and I go to have big exhibitions in Kreuzberg by a gallery he don't exist more in Chamizo-Platz. So it's interesting, so that make more interesting what you do here in Berlin of the wall, because mostly the artists didn't want to paint of the wall because they wanted to be paid. Did you want to paint for nothing? I say, yes, why not? For me, the wall was a part of my identity, in the way that my parents I born as refugees of East Europe, and I all the time moved between the two parts of the wall, because I have, after I get 18, Hungarian pass back on the French pass. So I was French and Hungarian. So I have a double identity.
So you could go in a communist country, but also in a Western country, and they would let you through.
Yes, I could move. I was in the form of, in my head, I was a wall jumper. So I lived in Neukölln. Neukölln from the wall was, we can say, half hour with bicycle, because I never drive. So I have my bicycle and a little ladder, and I bike every day. How many days I was inside the raining in the rule, because we don't can paint when that's raining. So that was a very bad weather in 89.
When you started painting
in October.
yeah.
So a lot of time I was in a little kapuf to waiting the raining stop to paint that we can paint.
You said you did not get paid.
No, they tell us normally they must to give for all 500 D-mark. I painted because I found that it's absolutely important to make a message. What is it? The East Side Gallery became the most big peace monument of the world.
Obviously, they invited a few artists to come along and paint the wall, and you were free in what kind of painting you will paint, mural you will paint.
A lot of people was not able to know what they wanted to paint. A lot of people painted what they could. She have a problem to find a painter. That is the reason the big part from the East Side Gallery artist was not very professional. By me, she was very happy, Christine, because I go to have exhibitions in Berlin galleries. I have exhibit in Paris, in Drouot. Drouot was one of the most famous places in France to exhibit. I was international recognized artist because I sold in Drouot. So she asked me, what you want to paint? So I can make you a sketch well. Oh, yes. She was surprised I did a sketch well. And so I go... one day later, she was too late as usual. I waited 1 hour. She came. I have my little paper. I was 21, 22, and she, for me, she was old staff. I'm 60 soon. I think she was 60. So
not so old now.
But when you are 20, a 60 years old person, she's a grandma. So she said, yes, I give you here between this and this element, you can count 10 wall segment to paint. Today I know I could paint 20, but she'd give me 10. I was very, perhaps my French educations, I was very respectful what they ask, they tell me, and I did. So the most artists didn't take me really seriously because I was 22. The most ever was over 30. 40, 60. So I was a young child. But when they wanted to make the first catalog for the East Side Gallery, the people chose my war jumper as the symbol of our whole Berlin Wall. When he did this book about the history of the mural of the world, they use my war jumper too. Perhaps I was one of the youngster, but perhaps I was the most. He has the most educations to paint. I try to understand why my war jumper go so much out. Why my war jumper have reproductions in the airport, and I try to explain myself why. That was. It's too easy to say I was more creative or more talentuous. No, I think because I work with... my first step was I ask, when I know I want to make a wall painting, I ask people in the street in West Berlin and in Ost Berlin, I ask 20 persons. 10 right, 10 left. And all I asked them the same question when they wanted to answer me, what is your dream when we have the wall? And all the majority have answered me, to jump over. So I said, yes, I must to paint a wall jumper. And so born the idea to paint a wall jumper, because I think what is the most important is to paint not what the artist wish to paint, but what the human try to dream, and to give a reality for the dream for the human. And so born the wall jumper.
Amazing. But is the wall jump also a part of yourself? Because you had a similar dream, or were you were a young man at the time?
I have the key for both parts. I didn't must to jump over. I live in West Berlin with a woman that I married later, and my big love was in East Berlin. So for me, it was not the best thing they opened the wall.
So you were not jumping over, but you were going through every time.
Really, yes.
Yeah. And the man we can see in the mural, is he someone you know? Is this a person that was dear to your heart, or a friend that you used to paint?
The man tell me I must to make something very typically German, as a normal German figure. That is the reason he's blonde and have a blue eyes, the most common guy. But the only thing what is little not common, that he jumped from West, from Kreuzberg, in East Berlin. And we can see that because the building where is in his background is, when we go a little more far away, is in Kreuzberg. And that was my little personal secret.
Because I guess, first glimpse, a lot of people think he jumps from east to west because he wants to escape.
Yes.
But he did not. So why did he jump from west to east?
The story was that I have seen a lot of West Berliner in this time. They go in east to buy everything cheap what they could. And that was, we can say this opening of the Berlin Wall was, I think when we see today, but I see that in the moment too, how the communists collapse and the capitalists win. And we can buy human, we can buy how many prostitutions of East Europe was. How many people, I see people from my ex-wife family coming to buy firm, building, house, what they never could buy in West Berlin or in West Germany. You have all these business people, they come from England to buy, I don't know how many apartments in Berlin or in Leipzig or in other cities. That was, they have lost and we can take everything. That was the atmosphere. I think it's little the same atmosphere what was in 19th century for the gold time. We can find gold. Here
like a gold rush.
Gold rush. Here we could find property for nothing and make quickly big money. Right. That was the atmosphere. And I wanted to, in my mural, to take a little this, why you have this telephone cabin. This telephone cabin was not a telephone cabin of East Germany, typically telephone cabin from West Berlin. That was to say, he is there, he jump over, and he think where he must to call to get what.
Yeah, and he looks like a businessman to me as well.
He have a jacket, red jacket, to see he's cool, but he have the tennis. He plays, but not sock. He's this form of incorrect businessman. He want to make quickly money.
Right. Yeah. Let's go a few years back when the wall was still standing and you were switching in between East and West. Do you still remember when you first entered the East or East Berlin or even Halle an der Saale, which is also...
The first time was in... my grandparents was in Germany in concentration camp. And my first moment when I go to visit in Halle, I don't know, 1983, I must to change the train in Frankfurt and Main. from Frankfurt am Main. I come from Paris, Frankfurt am Main. We have one train. He go direction Halle. He stop in Eisenach, and I was the only young man. I don't know, 18 or something similar. In all the train, all the other people was old German people, and all asked me to help him to make her luggage of the top because he was too old, lot of old ladies, and I helped him. And I helped the old lady to make her luggage high. And after I sit, I was happy. Every luggage was off the top. I can sit and waiting. And the woman say, you have an accent because I have in every language a beautiful French accent. And she, yes, where you come from? I come from Paris. Ah, Paris is the most nice city what I know. So that was my first remembering of East Germany.
East Germany. But the people on the train were from West
No,
Germany?
No, that was all East German. Old people, retirement, they have visited their family in West Germany.
And were they checked because there was no border you had to cross because you sat in the train?
The train was stopped, and they asked us, did we have something? I have so little luggage, it was nearly nothing, but I was regularly, since I am child in Hungary, so I know what was checking. They can ask us what they wanted, and we opened everything. My most bad checking was in 88. I go in 88 before they opened the wall to say for my ex-girlfriend in East Germany that I have somebody else invest. So we have the last dinner together. We go in the German-Russian friendship. That was a beautiful restaurant. We eat at Bœuf Stroganoff, and I don't know how many vodka and how many Russian champagne, Sechs champagne we drink. But all my money, what I converted, what we must to convert when we change with the French pass, was going away. And when she left me in Checkpoint Charlie, they didn't let me to go back in Checkpoint Charlie because I come back from Friedrichshain, from Friedrichstraße, from the U-Bahnhof Friedrichstraße. And we must to go back in the same place where we have going in East Germany.
Right. So you were wrong, in the wrong place.
So I don't know how to find, I was totally drunk, and I don't know how to find Friedrichstraße. And I asked in the street, where is West Berlin? And the people answer me, we don't have West Berlin. When we are drunk, not to have West Berlin, you don't know how you go out, was terrible.
Right. You said you had the worst check
at
the border.
Yes, because so they asked me in end, somebody helped me, and the police woman asked me, where is your money, what you have changed? You change, you don't can go away, that was, I think, 100 D-mark, and you did that in 3 hours. What you did, you don't see a drink.
Where were you and what did you do when the wall fell?
I was in West Berlin. I heard that in the news, in the radio, when I painted in that was in close from Hermannplatz in Neukölln, exactly. Mm-hmm. We have in little apartment where I have a little studio. One day later, I get a ring in my door. That was my ex-girlfriend and her mother and her stepfather. And I never have imagined to see that in West Berlin. And I asked them, oh, wow, it's so great. I was happy. I was real happy. And they answered me, you know, it's the second day which we go inside, because all the time we get 100 D-mark. And so we go inside for the other time to get 200 D-mark.
Really?
Yes.
Did that work?
They was very quickly to understand they get some money to come. So it's marvelous. Yes, it's great. And we have one problem. What is your problem? We can change one again one. And he dreamed to have a Mercedes. Or not a Trabant more. So I was a little more idealist as that. And I was a little shocked from their views. So my ex-girlfriend was with me and my ex-wife. And she slept by us in West Berlin, and we asked her what you want to see. Say, something what I don't imagine. So we say, come with us in Polenmark. Was a Polmark. Polenmark was a mark what you can buy everything in Berlin. They don't exist more, but was you can. Trödelmark in German, but the name was Polenmark. So we go there because
like a market for
you can
second-hand stuff?
Second-hand stuff to robinet for your water. That was garbage, everything what you can imagine. She come close for me. Gabriel, I see something incredible. What you see? I heard the guy, he sells a dress. He's Turk. And he speaks perfect German. And I said, but you know, they born here. They are West Berliner older as you. And that was for her something totally new. Because in propaganda, what they heard from the West televisions or West radio, they never speak what is in West Berlin. They didn't see how West Berlin was cosmopolitan.
Right. How did she feel, or her family feel, about the fall of the Berlin Wall anyway?
I just say that her stepfather was, his dream was to have this Mercedes. He bought very quickly because some months later, half year later, they give one the D-mark, and he could change, and he bought a Mercedes. What I have understand for them, that was too quickly. Everything was too quickly, and they didn't really understand what happened. So that was my feeling. For my ex-girlfriend, she was communist, and she was happy her grandma died early, because she was communist before the war. The grandma, we say, I'm sure grandma can be very angry when she see what happened. So I see one part. The guy was communist too, her stepfather. But he was not an idealist. He was a person, he had a good job. He was a chemist engineer. And he was every time in the good. He want to have good money and have a consume dream.
Lots of people say in that night where the wall fell, people were climbing the wall at the Brandenburg Gate. There was like a big party in Berlin. Did you experience any of this?
No, I didn't go out. I didn't go out because I was all the time snob. And I hate these popular parties. I go out next day, the floor was full of broken bottles. all the people, they was very happy of their size, east or west. All there have did the party, and nobody have think what go to happen.
So you became quite famous for your Mauerspringer, wall jumper, because even today, lots of people who go and visit Berlin will go and visit the East Side Gallery, very likely. How do you feel about having created such a big mural, such a very historic monument, even as a young man, for no money? But today, people are still going there and they enjoying the East Side Gallery and they see the wall jumper. How do you feel about that?
I painted a monument. They catch the moment of this form of changing. I think the wall jumper, the guy what we painted, or the I painted, is the human potential. Is a guy, he can do everything. He can jump over to wall. Human can do everything.
You showed me photos from people that took a photo of themselves
yes,
in front of the wall jumper. How does that make you feel? And they sent those photos to you.
Yes, because it was my website on my name. They sent me after 2 times of Gmail. They sent me that. Normally, I must feel me very proud, but my father built the Louvre as engineer. I have a first minister in my family from mother's side. So I am a painter, and I do my best. And so I don't think I am a genius. I see in my family we did all the time our best. So I am in art. I do my best, but my problem is more. Normally I say I must be very proud, but I say it's not good. The attitude is bad. So I begin to work with my companion, with Anna, because I think it's good to share, to break this idea of genius. I was 21, and I asked the people, "What is your dream?" To try. That is a total other way to work. Is a work to I must to catch what is this wall, and what was the dream of the human. And that is the same thing what we did here in Wellington. In Wellington, when we heard that was this hotel, he was moved, we contacted the owner, because we heard from the people that was the most important thing what in Wellington happened, that the biggest hotel or the biggest building of the South Hemisphere have moved 300 meters with no breaking one glass. So it's important to catch what a lot of humans find important.
And it was important for the Wellingtonians, especially.
For the Wellington was very important. Similar as for the Berlin Wall, this idea to jump over, I have enough for my job. I want to jump over. I have enough that my family don't send me the package of West Berlin. I want to jump over. is to catch what the human dream.
And that's why you called the mural here the mover.
Yes.
So maybe we can ask Anna if she comes along as well, because she's actually working on a painting in the background. We were just talking about the mover. And Gabriel already mentioned that it is important for you also as a couple, artist couple, to get into people's minds and really extract what they're thinking and what their wishes are. So what was the idea for the mover? Maybe you can talk about that concept a little bit.
Definitely, that was a dream to do something facing the waterfront in Wellington, and to find a story about the city, what happened, what people were witness of this. So we find the story very interesting and the hotel very dark outside. And we found that it will be highlighted, the story of the hotel. And because there where the hotel was before, the National Museum is now, it was a strategic point in the bay to have something in the waterfront. So the hotel was moved and the Te Papa is now there. So definitely it's great to leave the story on the mural.
What can we see in the mover? What is the mover doing?
The mover is pulling the hotel, and on the bottom of the mural there is Te Papa. So it's very clear. Te Papa replaced the hotel, and the hotel is opposite, like diagonally opposite. Mm.
And you said the hotel was very dark. The mural itself is not. I think bright colors is something you two like to use.
Yes, we can say that the colors from the Berlin Wall, from the wall jumper, are here also in Wellington. So the orange and the sea, because we are in the bay.
What we can say about my problem was with the mover from the jumper, a wall jumper. My problem was that Berlin have a lot of advertisement. And so the wall jumper concept was, I must make a painting. Is more visible as the light advertisement what we see in Berlin. So the choice of orange sky. Everything was to break. Is a big city.
Lights,
Is a city with a lot of advertisement, with a lot of light. So the art, we make not competition against the other artists, we make competition against the advertisement. But what was very important for us, that is the same figure as in Berlin.
And why is that?
Because we paint this figure only when we do something unique.
And the idea that this is the name of the figure for both is a human potential. So that was the name that we found out when we were here, when we painted the mover. So we said, this is it.
So this is what humans can do, as you
Human
said.
can move the building, human can jump over.
Yes.
We can decide to live here when we want, with no money, with no paper.
Yes, but also concerning the murals, it's important to see that different circumstances create different works. So in New Zealand it's an engineering success, and in Berlin it was freedom, what people they dream, for example. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What brought you here to New Zealand? Because I know you lived in Berlin as well, Anna. So I think you're 10 years in New Zealand now?
No.
Or is it more?
13.
13 years.
14, almost 14 years.
You can measure that on your son's
Yes,
figure.
he's 13. He will be 13, and we 14. It will be 15 next year.
Wow.
Oh.
So what was the reason to come to
We
New Zealand?
discovery English-speaking country and new culture, and definitely when we came here, we discovered Maori culture, and that was very important to us. To be in a country where Maori culture started to be important since not long time, but this tolerance and searching a new identity in the country was present. That's what we found out, and generally people seem to us quite open and friendly. Definitely, it was one of the reasons that we felt welcome here. And also our art. We found a gallery interested in our works, and we could do something. And definitely the mover, and then later another mural that the hotel owner asked us to paint. That was definitely positive from the beginning to stay here.
I would love to stay a little bit with you in your history, a little bit, because Anna is born in Poland. Is that right? And maybe you want to share your feeling of the Iron Curtain coming down, the whole Eastern Bloc collapsing. How did you feel at the time, around 1989?
That was quite important period for me, because I was finishing my secondary school, and I had to pass exams for next year for university. So definitely, I had a very intense time in my life, and that was definitely also positive that it will be possible to travel into the West. So yes, it was something I think Polish people were waiting for, and definitely positive.
We went from the Mauerspringer, the wall jumper, to the mover, from your story to your story, and so on. I'd like to close with probably a perspective. We are approaching the 35th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the Mauerspringer, the wall jumper, is still jumping at the East Side Gallery. What do you hope for this mural? What it will cause in people? What its effect will be in the future?
For the wall jumper there, I don't know. I think they must restore. It's not sure they are go to ask me to restore. What I can hope for because I think the wall jumper is a very important element, but I think all this East Side Gallery is a very important piece because that is the most longest peace monument of the world, and we go to live all together in peace. Look, we have war in Europe. Perhaps they give me the opportunity one day to make a mural for peace in Europe.
That's true that we always thought about it, that it would be great to have another opportunity for the human potential somewhere else for important circumstances.
I hope the human potential will appear again, the man from the mover and from the Berlin Wall, the wall jumper. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. This was an interview recorded by the curator of the Berlin Wall Stories exhibition, Alexandra Falk. We hope you enjoyed it. There are 9 more recorded interviews in this playlist. Maybe you want to explore them as well. Thank you and bis bald.